Ever since Disney took over Star Wars, it seems like they are addicted to this idea of announcing more and more Star Wars projects without them ever creating something. Will this new announcement change the game or just be another thing they're going to put on the back burner later? Welcome to Star Wars Uplink. So, Deadline is reporting as an exclusive that Simon Kinberg is going to be developing a trilogy of Star Wars films. Now, there are conflicting reports on what this trilogy will really focus on. There's some reports saying that this is going to be the trilogy that continues the Skywalker saga. Now, what that ends up being will be interesting to find out. Apparently, they're still going to be moving forward with the Rey standalone movie, depending if the Stephen Knight news wasn't a knife to the heart of the project. We don't know necessarily if this is going to replace that, if it's going to go up alongside this. There's also reports saying that this, yes, is going to be a trilogy of films set after the Skywalker saga end of episode 9, but really picking up with a new cast of characters where familiar faces may show up, building that new era, building that new hype, similar to how the sequel trilogy did so, where you have the characters of Luke, Han, and Leia showing up and having parts of it, but it is taken over by a new cast. Maybe this is the thing that they are focused on, is they're going to have episodes 10, 11, 12, but instead of being focused around Rey like we would assume, this is actually going to be focused around a set of new characters where Rey, Finn, and Poe and the like will show up and add some character or some plot momentum or something else. This is going to be very fascinating because, quote, insiders disputed my intel that Kinberg will continue that storyline, saying instead they will begin in a new saga and sit alongside percolating Star Wars projects with James Mangold, Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, Taika Waititi, and Donald Glover. As usual, Lucasfilm and Disney are not commenting. So that's a direct quote. But Bespin Bulletin has said that he's heard conflicting reports as well, that this is going to be the Rey Skywalker trilogy continuation, where we have like the Charmin Obaid-Chinoy project that's going to set up the background of this new Jedi Order, and then episodes 10, 11, and 12 are going to be the broader scopes, this new introduction. I don't know which to believe at this point. I don't think that this is even going to be happening. Obviously, Simon Kinberg has worked in the past with Star Wars. He was a co-creator of Rebels. So he has passed with Star Wars and making something that has actually been produced, as well as working alongside Dave Filoni. So that is a plus in his favor. But he's also been a part of a lot of the X-Men movies that not a lot of people have been a fan of. He has, though, been a part of Logan, as well as some of the Deadpool movies he was a producer of. He was also an executive producer of Deadpool and Wolverine, but there's some other of the X-Men projects that he wasn't that he made that and was a part of that ended up not being that great. So his reputation is a little rocky when it comes down to what he's created, whether or not he's a good writer or if he's a better producer. But apparently, according to this report, he's going to be writing and producing this alongside Kathleen Kennedy. This is so fascinating on so many levels, but at this point, I think Lucasfilm just announcing Star Wars projects or leaking announcements, because a lot of people don't realize when Variety or Deadline or these established news organizations get these pieces. I don't know if it's the case with this one, but a lot of the times they will feed them information that they want to get released, but they don't want to make an official announcement on. It's a way to control the messaging without being the person delivering the message, which would say many other things. Like if there is creative differences or a project, they'll leak that story intentionally to a source like Variety, and they will report on that. Then they don't have the dirt of being fully responsible on this idea. Many people, myself included, can go and make videos or news articles about what could possibly be the reason without them having to officially do anything about it. So that's kind of the background with this, but at this point it's just such a joke for Disney, Lucasfilm to be announcing all of these Star Wars projects when everything except for the one that was announced a year ago, which is actually filming. Nothing else has been released. How can you feel hyped as a Star Wars fan when every single past announcement that they've made when it comes to a Star Wars movie has not moved forward? The one that was closest, the one that was supposed to be releasing first, which is the Rey Star Wars New Jedi Order or whatever that Rey project is going to be, hasn't even gotten a script yet. Their writers, multiple at this point, have left the project many times already. Newest one, Stephen Knight, has left it entirely. The reports claim that he delivered things, they weren't happy with it. He was not willing to concede on some of the things he wanted to do there. Ended up going to the Peaky Blinders movie, which obviously is something he creates and owns, and therefore you would put priority over something than Disney, which is known for, especially with this project, not releasing anything. So I just don't think that we can, as Star Wars fans, really get excited about something that should be exciting. If this had been announced, I don't know, when The Rise of Skywalker was coming out, when they had already shown that they created 3 Star Wars movies successfully. I mean, successfully in the manner that they are released, not necessarily that they are all incredible, cinematic, beautiful set pieces and story and design and all that stuff. I think this would have gone so much better if we didn't have a string of canceled Star Wars projects and creative differences and writers and directors getting brought on board to do something and then end up not doing anything. Every single post that I've seen on Twitter and Threads has been, oh, well, I'll believe it when I see it. I just don't think you're in a good spot as a film IP when the fan base, the ones that are most on board with a project, don't even get excited when you announced a new trilogy. Star Wars hasn't done a new trilogy since the beginning of the sequels, since The Force Awakens in 2014, ending in 2019. How does that work out? Why isn't anyone excited about this? Well, it's because they keep on consistently announcing things, canceling things, announcing more things, canceling things. Oh wait, this one's not canceled, just put on the back burner until this other person's project gets cleared up. Oh, well, that project is, the director can get this project now, so we'll bring them back. But no, actually no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do something different. Taika Waititi, he's doing something. Sean Levy, he's doing something. I just don't understand the level of disarray. We had reports coming just recently, maybe in the past year or so, said Disney was prioritizing movies and that they were going to highlight this. And they did this at Star Wars Celebration. They announced these are the things that are going to be happening. Look at the entire timeline that we're going to be playing within. We're going to do things across this entire timeline. We're going to announce some projects that will be taking place there. The only one that I believe will be happening, and that's not even 100%, it's probably like 60% happening, is the Mandalorian movie. The only reason I think that it is going to happen is because Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and all that stuff, they've shown that they can create something in this gap of a Star Wars release in terms of the movies. This desert of content when it comes to those movies. They've shown that they can release things, which is the Mandalorian. I just don't know if that is enough to save this. I had previously thought they were going to double down on the Mandoverse time period, but it sounds like they may be moving forward with something entirely different. Again, do I think this is going to happen? I don't know. I will believe it when I see a trailer. Until then, this is just as speculative as, I don't know, a Star Wars fan creator on YouTube announcing their own fan film. That is the level of belief that I have with them to actually create something, which is a shame. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comments below, and check out our podcast. Would love for you to check that out. As always, may the Force be with you.